All right, so this video is about how to prepare for the blessing. Everyone's talking about a wealth transfer. Everyone's talking about 2022 ending strong, the Lord crowning the year, and the wealth transfer taking place in 2023. Well, you need to prepare for that. And the way that you prepare for that, in James chapter 4, James says, yet you have not because you ask not. And you ask, and when you do ask, you don't receive because you ask amiss, that you may spend it on your pleasures. And then he goes on to say, adulterers, adulteresses, do you not know that friendship with the world is enmity with God? So whoever wants to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God. So, a lot of people in the church, the Lord raises them up, the Lord blesses them up. And what they do is they think that all the blessings that come in, everything that comes in is all theirs. And then, out of the kindness of their heart, they give that little 10%. They keep all this and they call themselves a ministry and they give this little tiny piece to the Lord. That's not what the Lord had in mind when he raised people up. He wasn't talking about buying houses and cars and all that stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to understand that the blessings are for you to be like a seeder. People fill all their seeds into the seeder and they move it along and it's just spitting out those seeds. That's what you're supposed to do when the Lord blesses you up. You're supposed to be a conduit. You're supposed to be like a hose. The spigot is the Lord's blessings. You are the hose and, the little nozzle on there that goes shooting that water out of there. You take what you need, but that's the Lord's money. Don't call yourself a ministry and, you keep, 90% of it and you're giving 10% back to the Lord. No. Those blessings are the Lord's blessings, okay? You take what you need. A worker is worthy of his wages. Thus saith the Lord. A worker is worthy of his wages. The blessings come in, you take your piece, and out of that piece that you take, the 10% goes to the Lord, back to the Lord. The rest of it is to be pushed out like a cedar, seeds being planted in the ministry. Where you decide to plant those seeds, that's entirely up to you, but that is not your money. That is the Lord's money. And out of that, you are worthy of a decent amount. Is that 50,000? Is it 100,000? Well, it depends how much is coming through your ministry. 90% of that money is not yours calling yourself a ministry. So call yourself a man of God. You are a ministry. You're a king and a priest of the Lord Most High. You are supposed to manage that money. That's not managing your bank account. That's you managing the Lord's money, showing yourself a faithful steward of the money that God is funneling through you. It's funneling through you, not going in your bank account. That's like you got the big old bucket of seed. Everyone puts it in like, yeah, this is for you to spread it around. And you're like, all right, cool. Let me grab all that and put 10% back in. That's not how it works. You take your little piece out and take it to your own garden and plant that. But the rest of that goes in here. And out of what you take 10%, say, all right, here's my 50, 60, 70, $80,000, whatever the size is. Everything's appropriate, right? But whatever it is, it might only be 10,000. You take what you think is adequate as an honorable steward of what the Lord gave you. And out of that's come into you, you take 10% and give it back to the Lord. But the rest of that is for the kingdom purpose. It's for the Lord. And that's where people go wrong. And they buy into the prosperity blessing gospel and think it's all about them and what they can acquire. And that's how people mismanage funds. So as James is talking about in James chapter 4, You know, a lot of people are praying for increase. They're praying for elevation, promotion, blessings. But this is how you prepare for it. You get your heart right, you get your mind right, and you say, Lord, I will be a good steward of what you give me. I will manage your funds correctly. That's not my funds. The more you bless me, the more I have. The more the Lord blesses you, the more seed you should be planting in the world. And whatever that looks like, you know, whatever calls, and that's what you need to start preparing. What are you going to do when the Lord opens up the windows of heaven and pours out a blessing? Too much for you to contain. It's too much for you. That's supposed to be disseminated, scattered out. That's what the blessings are for. So put it on a piece of paper, make it plain, know what you're going to do with that money if or when the Lord decides to bless you. And let him know you're going to be a good steward with it. You don't know how God works or how he's going to bless you. So I recommend getting a piece of paper saying, look, I'm going to start a home church. I'm going to start a fellowship organization in my community. You know, I'm going to start donating to the poor. That comes out of what the Lord blesses you with, you know. And if there's abundance and overflow, yes, you are worthy of a wage, especially if you go full time. You've got bills to pay. Everyone gets that. The problem most people make is they call themselves a ministry and they keep 90% or more of what the Lord gives to their ministry. You know, the Lord can move on people's hearts to where someone just gives $100,000, $10,000, and they think that 90% of that is theirs. No. People didn't write it to your personal account. They wrote it to the ministry, your cause. Okay? And yeah, you're entitled to a small percentage of that. Whatever that small percentage is. If it's $1 million, does that mean you get 900,000? People donated to the ministry. God put it on someone's heart. You know, your message or whatever you're doing touched someone's heart for them to give to that ministry. 90% of that is not yours. A small percentage of that is yours, whatever, you know, a good steward, whatever you as a good steward deem is appropriate. You know, $1 million, you don't need more than, if you've already taken from this donation and that donation and that donation and paid your bills, then, you know, you got to be reasonable. You got to be a good steward because you will give an account for everything that the Lord was trying to funnel through you. And if your vision is on more stuff that you can buy so that you can be friendship with the world and have a nicer car and a nicer house and a yacht and a boat, that's friendship with the world. That's the world's program. That's not God's program. God's program is storing up riches in heaven. Yes, you need to survive here on this earth. But a good steward stores up riches in heaven. He's kingdom-minded. He or she is kingdom-minded and saying, okay, more money in, we can do more for the kingdom. We can win more souls. We can bless more people in need. So that's how you prepare for the blessing. That's how you prepare for God to transfer wealth from the wicked and over to you. Money's going to transfer. But this is how you prepare and let the Lord know you will be a good steward. He could slide some of that bread over to your account. All right. God bless you. I hope that makes sense. And I hope you pray about it, meditate, and get prepared. And when you ask, let the Lord know what you want to do with those funds. All right. God bless you. Hope you like, subscribe, and share.